When I say nothing is real, this means that also money isn't real. And as hard as it is to grasp that the character is not itself, that you are not you, I think it's harder for people to accept that money is unreal and has no importance. Because money is one of the things that seems to influence your reality and everyone in the world's reality in the most profound way. If you have it, you are successful and you are relaxed. If you don't have it, you're in a constant struggle to get it. And there are so many beliefs, and it's just something so enormous. Ever since you are a child, you believe and you know that things have a price and you have to pay the price. And the symbol of this price is money in this reality. Inside the story, money is the deal breaker. Either you have it or you don't have it. You are successful and enjoying your life, or that you are in a constant struggle and frustration or fear how to get this thing, how to be balanced, how to have what you need. And of course that people don't want the things that they need, they want more. Humanity wants more. There is an inherited greed inside humanity, greed for more. Imagining that money is not a thing, that it is not real, it is monopoly money, it's just monopoly money. To accept this truth is very hard. How can you accept it when you don't have the money to buy something that you want? Or you have to ask it for someone, or to get a loan. Or if you have it, then how can it not be real? It makes my life so much easier, and I earned it. There are so many beliefs inside the personality, the character about money. The way a person is being raised will determine how he will react and use money. If he grows up in an environment that is fearful and that doesn't see the real value of things, he will not have the basic understanding of what money is. And of course, money, like everything else in this game, is a tool, is a way for the character to express itself. So we can start in the beginning. Why is someone rich and someone poor? Why does someone have money and others don't? It is in the basic layout of the character's persona or game. Like you build your avatar, and you feel a form where he's being born, who his parents are they wealthy or not, and what kind of tragedy he will face in his life. And this is like a parameter about money. There is a starting point in the game, like we are being placed in the game in a certain point. This is our starting point. We cannot debate about our starting point, because this is where we chose to put ourselves to start the game. So no use of arguing with ourselves. Why did we put ourselves in a place, for example, that is poor? We chose to play a part of a person that was born poor. Of course, if I'll ask you, you'll say, oh, I would never do that to myself. I would never place myself in such a position. If I had the choice, I would put myself, of course, as the son of a billionaire. But this is a childish thought. No, we are oneness and we play infinite, endless characters and games and expressions, and this, we have no judgment when we play the part, if we are poor or rich. We just want to express ourselves. So the starting point is the place we chose to put ourselves, and there is no argument about it, where the character started. From this point, from this starting point, you start to play the game, where you were born, the way they raised you, and what your belief system became, and how you chose to mold it, and how you progressed through this game, this endless set of trials. And if we are talking about money, the way the money expresses itself in your character is the level of evolvement your character has reached. And this expression is not how much money you have. I want to say that if you have an abundance, if you have a lot of money, it doesn't mean you are very evolved. Even if you did it yourself, you chose the right career and you have the money, this doesn't mean you are spiritually evolving and completing the journey, because the money itself is not a parameter. Abundance is not a parameter of spiritual evolution or growth. You can stay in an unpleasant, you can be okay. If you don't have a lot of money, but you have your basic needs filled, it can mean, so it doesn't matter if you have a lot of money. This is not a sign of your progression. And also, it is not a sign of unprogressing, because some people believe that rich people or people who have money and strive to have money are unevolved. And this is also not true, because money itself doesn't have a personality, you know, it's just a tool, it's how you use it, it's how you express things in this false reality with it. So it's not a question if you have it, you don't have it. Either way, it doesn't matter. What matters is what are you doing now in the situation with the money, with the lack of money, with the ability to earn a lot of money. When you use money, you have to use it in the game like Monopoly. You have to use it to buy things and to use them. The greed for something more, the need to fill this void with things you love, like cars or clothes or things you don't really need. They compensate of this lacking inside of the person that is searching for something else, and it tries to fill this void with something, and it's out there and it's shining and it's so tempting. If I'll have it, I will be happy. And then you know the process, you have it. If you manage to buy what you want, it doesn't last. Paradise doesn't last. It's like a rush. You have it and then you want something else, and it will never be enough. It will never fill this void. You never do this thing. So you can see through the process, through this endless cycle of purchasing, of buying, of having, through money, that happiness, true calmness, you cannot buy it. It's simple as that. So this is if you have money and you use it for yourself on your egoistic, small, greedy needs that you don't really need. But if you don't have money, it's another story. And if you don't have money and you're in struggle to get it, and then your personality is influenced by this tool, and it's been corrupted by this poverty, by this inability to have it, by the need to ask for money from others. So it influences the character in a deep way that it doesn't have to be. You don't have to feel these emotions when you don't have the money. First, remember that we chose everything that happens in the character's life. So you chose this path of not having money, of needing, of struggling. You chose this thing for yourself. Why? Let's see around you in your surroundings. Why? And this evolution doesn't mean that your evolution is to learn through money. That it means that if you will learn how to get money and you will get out of this point of poverty, you will be spiritually evolved. That if you will become a millionaire, that means that you are successful and that you grew. No, sometimes you have to stay poor. Sometimes this is the story. You express a character that struggles with money. And in the struggle, realizes that money is not the issue here. The lacking of money, the inability to have everything you want, and the need to ask from others or to struggle is the way that you learn about yourself, that you are something more than your circumstances, and the way, what you wear, where you live, and if you have money or not, if you can buy a present for someone or not. You are more than that. You are a wonderful expression of talents and emotions and laughter, and money cannot turn this off. Not having money, and people who turn themselves off because they don't have money, they are depressed. This is the way they are not growing to their full potential. Reaching their full potential doesn't mean that there will be abundance. All these promises about, you think well and you'll be endlessly abundant and you will summon money and everything will be okay. These are stories for children. You like them, you can try. The main thing is that you accept the place you chose for yourself, the story, the expression you chose for yourself, and investigate inside it. Because sometimes it's very hard to manifest money, to reach to the point in which you can have it. And so you are stuck in a point that doesn't allow you to do that. But in this point, you remain a person, you remain what you are. Money doesn't determine who you are, what you are, what kind of person you are. Are you a good person? Are you fulfilling your desires, needs, the way you can? Do you express yourself? These are the emotions and things that shows that you grow, because money doesn't define you. Your definition is not what and how much money do you have. It's not the definition of a person. It's hard to see that because society and media and everything around you screams that there is a hierarchy and there are people who are worth more and people who are worth less. Because they don't have money, they are not important as the people who have it. Even if in your community you are jealous of the people who have it, have more than you. It's funny because I can't seem to grasp what is the connection between the financial state of a person and who he is and what he is in this world. He can be penniless, he can be a homeless, and he can be the most beautiful expression of generosity and beauty. He can be much more than the one who is getting out of his Cadillac and has a personal assistant. You can see that, you can know that this is the state. Money is not the issue here. And money seems to be the issue here because as everything around you, it seems so real. It seems that you need it. So if you want to grow through money, first you have to accept the place that you are right now. And then to realize that you are not connected to this unreal tool, important tool inside the game. You are the player. You can use the tools. The tools cannot change the character, the basic character. They cannot do that. Only the character can move inside the game, and the tools are just expressions or some things that allows them to move inside the game in different ways. But if we want to grow through money, we have to realize that sometimes it's quite all right where the character is, that this abundance is not a parameter. Not if you will do things right, you will have it. This is not the story. The story is always, always, always how someone discovers his true nature, the way to ourselves, the way to knowing ourselves, the way to realize that this tool, it's like a weak tool, it's like a bad tool because it causes so much trouble. People kill for money, for this unreal thing. Everything around us seems so real, so they forget who truly they are. They forget that they are one with the one they are killing, and with the money. The greed is the emotion that's being expressed in this situation. So this is an extreme state. But if we want to accept the fact that sometimes stories are stories, a story about someone who is struggling is a story. Who is that someone who is struggling with money? The story is not about struggling with money, with having it. All the frustration and tears and the desperation of not having it. The story is about how the character remains true to its nature, to itself. And of course, if we are talking about money, the value, the true value of the person, himself, herself, how he appreciates himself regardless of the amount of money he has. He has a lot of it, he doesn't have almost anything. What difference does it make? What inside the character knows its true value? You cannot buy this self-knowing of what your true value is. It has nothing to do with money. There are rich people who are wonderful people. And there are poor people who demonstrate greed in the name of wanting money. But the true value of a person, the self-dignity, the ability to see others, even if you yourself are in a struggle. This is something that is the process of evolving. Money can be a useful tool in this journey, but it is not in the way you use it or you gain it. If you have it, so you are progressing in the game. It's only in the way you perceive it. You perceive yourself through money, and this, you have to disconnect this terrible bond between the money and you, the connection. You have to disconnect it in order to be more evolved, because you are not connected to any parameter. You are timeless, you are eternity, you have to respect that. This monopoly money, to play with it and to be influenced by it and to change because of it. And of course, you cannot buy self-esteem, you cannot buy self-dignity, you cannot buy integrity, you cannot buy a person, you cannot buy the freedom of a person to be himself. And the people who sell themselves for money are just, ignorant is a correct, most accurate word I can find, because they pay the highest price. They pay endless diamonds and they get nothing. So it's funny. So don't sell yourself for money. It is not real. You will pay the highest price, you will get nothing, you will gain nothing. Either if you have money or don't, it doesn't matter. This is your point. Money is not the way to check if you are on the right track or in the right place. You can have no money and be exactly where you need to be, and you can have a lot of money and not, and you can have money and be in the right place. This is not a parameter, this is not a tool. The only thing is, who are you with money or without money? You are always the same.